Hi there, welcome to the Module 1 of UI UX, which talks about Introduction to UI UX Design. Let's dive into the course. Now we have to talk about defining the terms. What is UI UX design? What is product design? What is the difference between UI and UX? What is product management? I know we've heard of product management, we've heard of UI UX design, we've heard of product design. Oh, I'm a UI UX designer. Oh, I'm a product designer. Oh, I'm a product manager. We'll all get to know the meaning of everything. Okay? So now UI UX are two different aspects of design that deals with the composition of the interface and the experience a user gets from a product. So it's two different things, right? They are not together, they're not the same. The fact that it's the same, both UI is different, UX is different, that deals with the composition of interface and the experience a user gets from a product. Now, UI design is the ability to create the look, the style, and the visual experience of the design. A UI designer would think about typography, color, and imagery. So it deals with the looks. How beautiful is this app? The style you use, maybe your typography, how better typography that you use, makes the app actually very enticing and people can actually stay there and love using the app. Visual experience, just like how this is now. This is really looking good, right? This is really looking good. The typographies are well clean. The interface is well clean. It is not clustered. This is something here. This is something here. It is as well very neat and very clean. A UI designer will think about typography, which is this example here. Things are being typed. Think about color. We think about imagery. Then we're talking again about UX design. Now, UX design is the ability to create products that create good interactivity and provides meaningful and enjoyable experience for the users. So you're creating a good product that has good interactivity. Just like the same way I'm maneuvering, I'm going through this. So there is no bridge, there is no block, there is no bug. I can actually go up here, I can actually go up here. See, I'm having a good time. I'm actually having a good time, navigating through all those places. This gives me a meaningful and enjoyable experience as a user. So your UX design talks about the experience that you have by navigating an app. So now we have product design, right? Product design is the process of creating digital or physical products to gain market power. So you see where product design now comes. It's not just about digital products, right? It's about the process of creating both digital and of physical products to gain market power. To become a product designer, you should have the combination of both UI UX and product management. So you should have the combination of both to become a product designer. Now, product management is a business process of planning, developing, launching, and managing a product or service. It is the business process of planning, developing, launching, and managing a product. This is where your business aspect comes in right now. You're not just designing for fun, you're working in terms of the business line. Now we have the difference between UI and UX design. For UI, we have the outlook of the design, just like I explained to you guys here. This outlook here, outlook of the design. For UX, we have the user research, who we still talk more about as time goes by, where you research to know your users' needs because you design based on your users' needs. You don't just design because you know how to design. So we have design pattern for UI, we have user flows, we have layout and color and typography for UI, we have information architecture for UX. Good. So we have the similarities of UI and UX design, right? The similarity here is that UI and UX both requires adequate design thinking skill. Because as much as you're thinking on how, because for a good product to be called a good product, it has to have a combination of aesthetics, usability, and accessibility. Your aesthetics is your UI, how beautiful your UI is, how good looking your UI is. Now, your UX is now navigating on how your design thinking, how best can you put it in place? Like how best can you work up a design that it will really solve problem, the users will really use and love it. So number two, we have awareness of users' needs and empathy. See, still on it, you have to have awareness of users' needs and their empathy, and then collaboration. They collaborate together A good UX should meet a good UI, like on 100, not a bad UI and then a good UX. People will not use it because the eyes has to see a very beautiful thing. And then when the eyes have seen the thing that is really beautiful, the movement, the walkthrough of the app to actually be very good. So we have UI UX methodologies, right? We have the user-centered design, we have the design thinking, we have the user research, we have the prototyping, we have the user testing, and we have information architecture. These are the UI UX methodologies that we have. So when you hear people say, oh, user-centered design, I'm a user-centered designer, what is it all about? We'll talk about it. Oh, I need you to improve in your design thinking. What is it all about? We get to explain it. The user research, the prototyping, the user testing, information architecture. So now we have the user-centered design. The UCD, could be called UCD, focuses on understanding the needs and behavior of users throughout the design process. Can you see? It focuses on understanding the needs and behavior of users throughout the design process. So it involves techniques like user research, personas, and usability testing to ensure that design meets users' needs effectively. To ensure that it meets users' needs effectively. This is where user-centered. You are centering your design to your users. The users come first, their thoughts comes first to mind. So we have design thinking. Design thinking is a human-centered approach to innovation that involves empathy, ideation, and prototyping. It involves the human-centered, how your mind can actually think, how fast, how vast, how problem solving can your mind think is the human approach. So to innovation that involves empathy, ideation, and prototyping. Then we have the user research, right? The user research involves gathering insights about users' needs, behavior, and preferences to inform the design process. So you are designing with what your user research has given you. That is what you are designing with. You're not just designing, oh, maybe I feel it. Yes, sometimes you could design based on major objective. You see something that you really want. Maybe you want to take up in a redesign case study. You've studied this app, you've used this app for a lot of time. You are a user, so you want to like redesign it and then make it a case study to talk about how better it could be improved. But then on the note, you are still having users in your mind. So we have prototyping. The UI UX prototyping is the process of creating interactive representation or mock-ups of digital products, such as websites, mobile app, or software interfaces to stimulate how users will interact with the final process. So it's just this of how interactive your product will be. Okay? How interactive, whether it's a website, whether it's a mobile app, whether it's a software interface, how interactive you can make it up. So maybe when we get to the practical aspects of prototyping, you will understand it as well better. So we have user testing. Usability testing involves observing and gathering feedbacks from users as they interact with prototype or live product. It could be live products, it could be prototypes. So user testing, always make sure that at the end of your design, whether it's a prototype, whether it's already a live project, test it before you give it out to users, before you market it out to users. Oh, you can actually download. Make sure that everything is going smoothly. So we have information architecture, IA, in UI UX design. Is a methodology focused on organizing, structuring, and labeling content in a way that it makes it easier for users to find and understand. It is a way, it is a structure, just like the word information architecture. We all know what architects do, right? They are more concerned with building the structure of the house. So now information architecture now is now you structuring, organizing, and labeling your content in a way that is easier for you. It makes it easier for users to find and understand in the design. The way you structure your design, when people see, they understand, okay, this is where this is where that is. That is what information architecture is all about. So we've come to the end of this particular section. Let's get to see you in the next one. Thank you.